my gears in the room. So now I'm organizing. So I'm gonna get all my rack gear into racks. I'm not gonna wire anything up yet. I'm gonna save that till last so I can do it properly. But there's a fucking shit ton of stuff in there. Beginning it is absolutely done with it really. So there's another rack that I got. So I'm making a soundproof server rack, which I bought. I'm going to do a separate video for that. I think it's quite important. I've just had enough of the sound of fucking fans, basically, all the time. So I'm trying to make it as quiet as possible. But in the meantime, I'm going to get all my other rack gear into these racks. Or a couple of these metal racks. So I wanted an industrial kind of look in here. So this is made by Millennium, which is a John brand. I mean, it's a little bit wobbly, so I might end up replacing them at some point. But yeah, I'm just gonna get all my gear into it. So I've got the soundproof server rack, which my computer and anything with a loud fan is gonna go in, and then I'm gonna have one of these for preamps and then another one for outboard. And they won't be very full at the moment, but I do intend them to be. So definitely on it. Fuck it. Welcome to my new studio. So here's the centerpiece of the whole show. I wanted to basically get all of my equipment out of the racks on my desk because the cable management of it was just an absolute fucking pain in the ass. This way all the cables can be hidden in the back and I don't have to worry about them. So from the far left, this is the output rack. So this is for my mastering chain,
any compressors that I have, which obviously is fairly empty at the moment, but I do plan on filling it with some more stuff. In the middle rack, that is input, so we have the sound card output to my mono control, which should technically be there, but it needs to be so close to the sound card that it made sense there. Preamps at the bottom, and I should get a second 500 series rack as well, so I can split the preamps with the compressors and the reamp and stuff like that, so it can go in the output rack. And this is kind of like the centerpiece of the whole thing. So this is a server rack which I actually soundproofed completely, and it really does help a significant amount. And I can show you that in a minute. So I'm going to play some music on my phone and I'm going to play, I've got enough battery here, some Flux Conduct. And now it only comes out the top, so this is the last part of the soundproofing process that I need to do. So yeah, it comes out the top of the rack where the fans are. So I'm going to get some ducting for that, but I'm going to do a separate video on this rack so that you guys can actually see the whole process of doing that. But yeah, it significantly reduces the sound of the fans, and then mainly built it because of the Blackmagic Design 8-amp switcher, which is what I used for my live streaming setup. It was just the fans, even after changing to Noctua, I found that they were just so fucking noisy. So right now my computer fans are on the loudest possible setting just to make sure it keeps cool in there, but even on the quiet option I've noticed that it stays between 35 and 40 degrees on full load thanks to water cooling. So I'm just going to turn the fans all the way down now, as I haven't done it today, so I'm just loading the profile that I built, which changes the sound of the fans depending on how. There you go. And it's gone. And we're only at 37 degrees C, and it doesn't even have the fans turned on in the actual case either. And it's still maintaining a good cool temperature. Got some drawers here, microphones in this one, other stuff in this one. So I've got DI boxes, my hard drives, and some fans at the moment, and that's it. Obviously got the Antelope Audio Amari over here, which is my mastering converter that goes then directly into the Neve 33609 and the Stam Audio bus compressor. I'm hoping to add an EQ to this and a limiter at some point as well. I know that the Neve has a limiter, but I want something that does the brick wall thing a little bit faster, I guess is probably the right word. Yeah, so I guess we should move on to the other side, the guitar amplifiers. So here we have Amp World, which is a rack on this far side which you can barely see out of the screen, which has the amp heat switcher in it with the remote up here and some of the other effects that I use for guitar. So this is a guitar dedicated rack, which is the old Zale that was in my old room, and I currently have 8 amps connected to it with these LEDs which aren't quite yet finished. I have the aluminium trunking so that it creates a block of color rather than being able to see the individual LEDs, but I was getting impatient and just wanted to see what it was going to look like. So I bought this shelving unit from IKEA, and it's the Iva series in black, and you also get the Iva cabinets, and these came out actually like last week or something like that, and it's made of metal with a mesh front, gave it kind of an industrial look again. Do kind of wish they were in black as well, but the grey works with the aesthetic of the room, which is blacks, greys, and then the wood colour of browns. So I've got 8 of these amps connected. They're all turned on. You can just turn them all on. In fact, we'll do that so we've got all the pretty lights, and then that can just be controlled by the ampy over there. The Laboga's not currently plugged in as I've only got space for 8. I need to buy a second ampy, but if I do that, that means I'm going to want to extend the length of this thing and make it even bigger, and it's already fucking large. Weighs, what, if we say each amp's 20 kilos, it's like 180 to 200 kilos for that thing, and I want it to move it that way slightly as well, so I'm gonna have to dismantle the whole thing again, which I've already done once. But yeah, this is gonna be another sort of background for future YouTube videos, which I think is a really cool colorful background, especially with the LED lights that you can't see at the top as well. So can you see them in the camera? Yeah, you can. Yeah, the purple on the far left, just here in the shot where my finger is. And yeah, it's just got a cool aesthetic to it. I wanted something that, you know, the amps could sit on and just make it all one unit, as opposed to what I had in the last house, which was a oak unit and then a bunch of sort of what are they called? They're like those cheap garden shelf units that you get. But I wanted the storage, which I've got down the bottom as well now, for storing like strings, cables, and anything else involved with the studio. So I've got my camera gear in there as well, and a bunch of other stuff. So yeah, that seemed to be sort of a viable option. On this wall over here, which I'm not going to show you yet because it's not finished, is going to be another filming angle, and this one's going to be very minimalistic, which is different than what the other three walls of the studio are doing. Obviously with here, we've got the amps and my desk. To the left, I've obviously got a desk shot with the background wood paneling, and I've also got a rack shot here for the pro audio equipment. So as you can see, I'm going to turn this light off so you can see a little bit better, but the idea behind the wood paneling wall was just to have something that could be a real focus point of the entire studio. And I covered it in LEDs, which unfortunately it hasn't quite done the effect that I wanted it to on the side. You can see it a little bit, but I wanted that outer glow thing. And I'm gonna have to cut down the sides just a little bit, but I really like how it looks. I mean, if I change the color of this, which you can do via an app on my phone, then the sort of outer hue comes out a little bit more. If I change it to white, change it to red. Could even do it on a, you know, purple strobe flash, which would be a bit insane really, but I think a purple like heartbeat would be cool. Just creates a new aesthetic for different videos, you know, especially if it's changing color. I find that having lights in the background really helps with giving the depth of field. So that was kind of the idea behind having this wall, something that looked cool, that also could have the lights for, you know, something aesthetically pleasing. And I can also change the light bulbs here, so if I want them just on standard to brighten up the room, then I can. I'm just going to try and connect to all these now. God damn, it's been a little bit difficult today. There we go, it's connecting to them all now. There we go. They are all connected. Now, if I want something to be a little bit brighter, I can change the colors there, or, you know, make it a bit pink, a bit purple, a bit blue, maybe red. But yeah, there's loads of different options here. I just wanted all of the lights sort of controllable via apps. You can even control the lights on the amps via an app as well. Unfortunately, not all together. That'd just make it all too easy, wouldn't it? But yeah, just changing it all on my phone here. It's like, you know, pretty cool. Just for the different lights, just for, yeah, basically getting different depths of field, different vibes, and stuff like that. So yeah, and it's all really cheap on the internet. I think it was like 12 quid for 2 of those bulbs, and it looks cool, doesn't it? Just when I want it bright like a full bulb, I can change it, and when I want a little bit of color in the shot, I can also change it as well. So it's almost perfect, isn't it? So there it is. Welcome to the new Riff Hard HQ, my new studio room and my new workspace. If you watch my YouTube channel, you'll see this room a lot. If you're a member of Riff Hard, you're going to see this room a lot as well, as all the new content will be filmed right here in this room. I'm excited. It's the first time in well, I've never had a musical workspace outside of my house before, so this is a new adventure, and I'm really, really excited for the new adventure. A place to go to work, a place where I can be productive without any restriction on noise levels or anything like that. So here's to the future. Thank you very much for watching my studio video, and hopefully you'll catch the how to make a soundproof server rack, which will be coming up very, very soon, and a bunch more videos that I've got lined up. Really excited. Let's make some fucking noise. See you next time.